This will be episode 170 for you guys today. Once my co-host Fred Harris and our guest today, Manny Wilson, joins in, we'll go ahead and get today's episode started. What's up, Fred?
What's good, Tom? How you been?
Good. How about yourself, man?
Good.
Yeah, I can't complain. Getting football back tomorrow, you know.
I cannot wait.
You know, I was watching y'all draft the other night, you know, about a week ago. I was eyeing up my competition, you know what I mean? I got to go back to back this year.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's for money this time, so you know I'm ready for it.
I know you ready for it. And I knew you was ready to give me that donation because I ain't handing it back out to nobody else.
I love it.
Good. What's up, man? We were just talking about the fantasy league. I was thanking Fred for the donation this year. I like to thank you too, man. You know, donation, the money staying with me, you know.
That's crazy. It's all good, bro. It ain't happening with me. I ain't losing. Hey, all that repeating stuff, nah, it ain't happening, bro. It's a new ball game, different league.
Hey, all I'm saying is Tom got that Mickey Mouse championship. All right, this the big boys now.
Mickey Mouse.
Hey,
Mickey Mouse.
All I can say is I wasn't in the last ones, so that's
All I'm
just why
saying
you
is
won.
that cup came with a stuffed animal. All right.
That's cat. You
That
know
cup
that's
came with
cat.
a stuffed animal. All right. So we don't even really respect that last one. Now that we put some money on it, now the best man will win.
You gonna see, man.
Hey,
We'll see.
we will see, bro. I'm ready, man. We gonna see. I don't know for what week I got you. You know what week we play?
I don't even know. I gotta go back and check. I mean, I already scratched it off the list. I ain't gonna lie to you. I already scratched it
That's
off.
crazy. Okay.
Damn.
Y'all really?
I was
Swear
talking
y'all
trash,
finna
but he
win
said I already
something.
scratched it off the list.
Y'all swear y'all
Damn.
finna win something, bro. It's
Damn.
all good, bro.
That's
It's all good, bro.
disrespectful.
Hey, when them projected numbers ain't adding up like they supposed to, we gonna see. We gonna see
So what
when y'all
happened when the
trying to talk
projected
trades
numbers
and
add up
stuff
like
with
they're supposed to?
it. You said what?
I said, so what happens when the projected numbers add up like they're supposed to?
When they add up like they supposed to, that mean my team gonna win.
Oh, okay.
that's
Okay.
how that's gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I feel
all.
that. I feel that.
That's
I
all
feel that.
that is. That just means my team gonna win. That's all. That's all.
But since we're in here after the trash talk, we go ahead and get started. That was fun. All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Tom Sire from Onthehop Podcast. Today, this will be episode 173, guys. Today, I'm joined by my co-host Fred Harris and our guest today, the host of the Run Podcast, Manny Wilson, joining us all the way from Chicago. Even though he's repping the Detroit jersey for y'all watching, but Manny is here with us again. Thanks, Manny, for joining us today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me, of course, as always, man. And I'm excited to get to it. Of course, I had to rep the OK Cunningham MVP 2026. Just want to give y'all the heads up. But yeah, had to definitely rep. But I'm excited, man. Got the NFL coming up, but never too early to rep the team yet. So let's do it.
I love it.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna start off with kicking the episode off by sharing our team's records, what we are projecting our team to do this NFL season. So I'm a Cowboys fan, Fred's a Ravens fan, and Manny's a Falcons fan. So we're gonna predict how we think our team season is gonna go. Fred or Manny, whoever wants to go first, how do you think your team's gonna play out this year?
Fred, I'll let you take it, boy.
All right, thank you. I will take it. So I mean, I've been looking at the schedule. I mean, Tom, I was looking at the schedule for you even said anything about this. I already had the predictions running in my head before the question even came up in the group chat. All right. I really only see us losing about 3-4 games.
Wait,
Okay.
one more. What team is this?
The Ravens.
One more time.
All right. Listen. So the way
Who
I
is it?
look at it, what's up?
I said, what team is this where y'all only losing 3 or 4
Oh,
games?
okay, listen. We already know the AFC North is a dogfight. All right. So we splitting the whole AFC North. That's 3 of our games right there. And my fourth one, I'll give my fourth one to one of the late ones, maybe the Texans or the Eagles. Other than that,
Damn.
other than that, and we play the Cowboys. I just want to put that in the air.
I know
I
we
just want
play
to put
y'all.
that in the
I
air.
know, so
Oh,
you
wait, we
just
play the
go.
Cowboys.
We know that's a dub. We know
Yeah,
that's a dub.
we know
Hey,
that's a dub. But personally, I just think our team this year is too good. Our team is right. The only thing that is not looking good is our offensive line.
I was gonna
But
say that's a
I
whole.
think I think with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry back there, I think it's just too dominant.
That's
I think if you can just if our big boys up front can just put a body in front of somebody, and he got blocking for too long, you just put a body in front of somebody. Those two back there are too dangerous.
that's pretty valid because I would say y'all
Okay.
the Ravens are some pretty good regular season juggernauts. Not saying nothing about the playoffs, but I'm saying in the regular season y'all do show out. So you're saying
I didn't like that. Manny, I didn't like
Hey,
that.
he's right. He's right, bro.
I
Y'all,
didn't like that extra stuff
y'all
right there.
tripping
I didn't like
regular
that extra
season,
stuff
bro.
right there.
Regular season, y'all are regular season champions, bro. Y'all are animals regular season. It's just something about the playoffs. You just get a little cold and you just freeze up a little bit. And Lamar
When was
Jackson
our
being
last
the Jack
championship, Manny?
extra hand warmers.
When
So,
was our last championship? It was a question. I'm just
hey,
curious.
hey, that ain't even important right now. All I know
I
is
heard it.
we
I
seen
heard
one
it.
Ravens team who we thought was going to the Super Bowl all last year, and then they went to play Pat Mahomes, and they said, "Oh my gosh, it's that dude they've been talking about." And then they ran home, got sent home. That's
We
the
gonna
only
see
thing I.
tomorrow. We gonna see
Dang.
tomorrow. We gonna see
all right.
tomorrow.
So Fred, let me pull up y'all schedule real quick because y'all probably I think you guys do glancing at it. Yeah, I think you guys do have a tough schedule. So let's see.
I got it right here in front of my face right now. I
All
can
right.
read it off to you. So first week we know we got Ravens Chiefs. I think we come out. It's gonna be a close one, but I do think we win that one. Um, Second week we got Ravens Raiders in Baltimore. I believe we also win that one. Week 3 we is Ravens Cowboys at Dallas. Another win. Um,
You didn't want to
Bills.
emphasize that game, huh?
I don't
We can
need
go
these
into depth. We can
five
go into
star,
depth about
man.
that one. We can go into depth about that
That's
one because y'all
guaranteed
defense
dub.
can't hold nothing.
It's a
But
guaranteed dub.
on to the next. We got Bills and Ravens in Baltimore. Um, I just think our defense might be too much for that. I think Josh Allen is still going to do his thing this year. I mean, it's Josh Allen. He's electric. I just don't. His receivers just not there. All the receivers jump ship. Um, I mean, I think Keon Coleman is going to be a good fantasy wide receiver, I think, in the next couple weeks. But how that translates to actual football, can't agree with that one. Week 5, we got Ravens Bengals, and this is the games that I said we're going to split. I think AFC North is just such a dogfight. I can't see us sweeping anybody in the AFC North. Hold up. I can see it. I just don't think it's going to happen. Then what is this? Week 6, we have Commanders Ravens. I think that's an easy win. Our defense gonna be too much for Jaden Daniels, and their defense can't do nothing with our offense. Week 7, we got Ravens Buccaneers in Tampa. Again, just a too much of an overwhelming force for these guys. Week 8, back to the AFC North. We will be in Cleveland. I don't like that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not a fan of playing in Cleveland against the Browns.
Hey,
I just chalk that up as one of them, bro. You're taking the L at one of them games right there.
All right.
Y'all see him twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all
So,
take L from there for sure.
the next week we have the Broncos versus the Ravens. Man, I love seeing rookie quarterbacks. I love it.
that's not even gonna be a fair matchup.
That's an easy win, though, man. I probably ain't gonna watch the game.
I will. I will.
That's an easy W.
That's an easy dub.
So what's next? Oh yeah, again back to the AFC North. Bengals versus Ravens. We're gonna be in Baltimore this time, so I think again we're going with the split. After that, we have Ravens Steelers. We're gonna be in Pittsburgh. I'll be at that game. Y'all want to check my story because I will be at that game.
Go ahead and mark that one as an L.
Oh,
That's funny. That's funny.
No. Realistically, though, that is low-key one of Lamar's kryptonites in the regular season, though. Them
he
Steelers.
said Justin Fields coming out throwing for 300 that game. Fields is
Crazy.
completely different man
Crazy.
that we know him as, tweaking out that entire game against the Ravens. Because that's just how it happens. It's always against the Ravens where it's something magical happening.
All right. I love it. You lost the whole magical bullshit and made me lose my train of thought.
That's gonna be the same thing that you say after the game. You're gonna be like, I just lost. I don't know what happened. I don't know what
Yeah, 28-3. You never know what happened, brothers. You never know what happened. It gets spooky. It gets spooky sometimes. What we got? Oh, Ravens and Chargers. We're gonna be in San Diego. We're gonna have another Hard Bowl. Can't wait to see it, but I think that's gonna be another ass whooping. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do like Jim Harbaugh, but another ass whooping. All right, so this is the back half of this. Well, I guess not the last 5 games of the season. But it does look a little tough. Okay, so we first started off with Eagles versus Ravens. This is one of the this is where the 3-4 starts to hit. All right, so I like our chances, but it's gonna be a good game. Okay, Ravens Giants, Daniel Jones' ass.
that's easy.
Yeah, Steelers Ravens, back to the AFC North. Yeah. Then we got Ravens and Texans in Houston.
I think that could be
So
a game of the year candidate right there.
yeah, and it's on Christmas. It's on Christmas as well. So it would be a hell of a game of the year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love eating some ham, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and watching us get a W. Yeah.
I don't know.
I got to put it a little bit higher because of Eddie.
L, boy, that might be an L against the Texans, boy.
And then to end the season off, Browns versus Ravens in Baltimore. So with all that, I see us splitting AFC North, and then we lose one of the Eagles and Texans ones. But
I can accept it. I realistically, me not being silly, I think Ravens do lose. Probably no more than 4 games. Realistically, no.
yeah,
But long enough, these teams be slipping up sometimes. And then magical things happening. So I think it's probably this game really needs to Brown, them really talk just because those are the only games I thought like too.
Man,
That's
you're like
probably
glitching real
I
bad. Is
was,
that
I was,
me?
I was about to say, is that you? Oh, now I can hear. I see him.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but that was robotic noises right there.
Oh, I think he's fixing himself.
my apologies. I forgot to tell y'all I'm a cyborg.
I knew something was
Nah,
up.
my
He's on
bad.
what?
It's better.
Yeah, I think it's coming back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. There you
Yeah. My bad. I forgot to tell y'all I'm a cyborg. So, all right, sometimes connect now.
Hey, yo.
go.
But but yeah, that's you are good with yours. You got any more games you rolling through?
No, that's it. I mean, like you were saying, I just want to touch on a little bit what you're saying. Like, obviously, we're saying this before even a snap of football happens. So anything could happen, possibly. Like I said earlier, I do not like the last 5 games of the season. If we start messing up towards the end, four could turn into a lot more. Um,
Yeah, if y'all pull the Eagles.
yeah, especially because, I mean, the back end of the season just does not look very fun. We play the Steelers, and then 2 weeks later we play the Eagles, and then 2 weeks later we play the Steelers again, and the Texans and the Browns. And just, those are tough games at the end of the season. You
Yeah,
see,
that's
I skipped over the Giants stuff. Rob didn't want to be here for that.
a,
Rob definitely did not want to be here for that. Goodness gracious.
well. If I'm gonna go ahead take my turn, then we looking at the Atlanta Falcons, and for the Falcons, there was some ups and downs in the schedules. There were some teams where I'm like, okay, maybe we will win. It can go either way, but right off the bat, I'm really looking at maybe like 2 or 3 guaranteed L's. And it may not even be guaranteed, but I really think the Atlanta Falcons have the potential to win at least 11 games minimum. And yes, 11 games minimum.
Okay, bad
Because
take.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think they get 11 games just because they added so many different pieces to all levels on their defense, from the defensive line to the linebacker unit to the secondary unit over there. They added a lot of beef. And then hear me out. The Falcons, their main problem has been at a quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball to their skill guys outside of him, Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. So now that they have a quarterback who can throw the ball more than 40 yards accurately in Kirk Cousins, and they have a second string quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., who can throw the ball accurately yards. I just think it's a match made in heaven that they'll be able to find their guys in open space, meaning Drake London, Kyle Pitts. And then even if Bijan Robinson is out there running routes, they'll still be able to feed him the ball. So any matchup, it's almost in Atlanta's favor in that division of the NFC South because there's not much comp outside of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, we know the Buccaneers made it to the playoffs last year. They kind of did their thing, exceeded some expectations. There'll probably be a close competition there. I think they'll probably split one of those games of winning one in Atlanta and then losing in Tampa Bay. The Saints is always a rivalry, so I kind of think that'll probably be the similar thing of winning one and losing one at home. A guaranteed L, I think, is probably just inevitable. We see the Kansas City Chiefs week 3, and I don't think that's gonna be good because that's an arrowhead too. So I ain't even gonna be foolish. I'm not gonna even go there, but it's an arrowhead. I wouldn't be foolish to say, oh, the Atlanta Falcons about to
That's a
beat.
that's a rough game. That's a rough
Yeah,
game.
that's a rough game, right? That's a rough game for anybody playing the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So that's one of the games where I'm a little worried about. I will say, too, even though they're at home for this next game in week 2 against the Eagles, I think that's still going to be a tough matchup just because the Eagles always start off strong. Like, Eagles, they get shaky down in the end of the season, but because it's early on in the season, like it does worry me a little bit that it's the beginning of the season when we see them. However, the Falcons will be at home, so they can possibly use that to their benefit. But above all, I think we see a great game here, and then from there, You see a lot of division matchups. I'm expecting the clean sweep against the Carolina Panthers. That just better be the case. I'm sorry. I would be very disappointed if that's not the case. You see a lot of NFC East teams, Giants, Commanders, the Cowboys. That's how we tagging them. But
Yo, crazy. Yo.
I will say this, though. Realistically, with the Cowboys, I think the Falcons and the Cowboys will be a good game. But that may be a game that they lose just because it's in Dallas. So that's what kind of worries me a little bit. I think talent for talent, the Falcons can put up a good match and they'll put up a good fight in that game. But it's like a mid-season matchup, so obviously injuries are going to play a part in that. But it's in Dallas, so that's going to be like kind of a toss-up game there. So that's why I say right off the bat, I'm thinking about maybe no more than 6 L's, but I would say 11 games. 11 games is where they're going to be in terms of winning. I see Seattle Seahawks in here too. That's always a hard matchup for anybody playing in the 12th man area. So that one's going to be tough. But Chargers, that's a dub. Vikings, they ain't got no quarterback. They better win that. Raiders, they got to pull that off. But other than that, man, I'm seeing a lot of divisional play. I'm seeing a lot of barbecue chicken on here, especially when I see teams like the Broncos. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like, we ain't got to worry about none of the AFC North teams, which gives me comfort. Being team, because if I seen a Bengals, a Steelers, a Browns, Ravens, those are just about, honestly speaking, 3 guaranteed L's on top of whatever else who we playing in the NFC. So there's no 49. There's a lot of teams that they're missing. So I think it can be very helpful. But above all, Atlanta Falcons, 11 games this season.
Dang.
So what was your record last year? Yeah, just enlighten me.
It was like 7-10.
Okay.
They were pretty bad. But last year, we you remember who our quarterback was?
No, I get it. You have a much better quarterback. League's better. Yes. I just, when teams go through like that large losing slump, I just don't see the ginormous, it just doesn't happen all the time. That ginormous flip. Because what you talking about, the playoff team?
Let me tell you,
Y'all
man.
might just barely sneak in, maybe.
Oh,
Just because of y'all division. And that's really the only reason y'all can get
They're
in.
going to win.
that's all they need to do is win that division. That's the worst division of football.
Yes.
It
Yes.
literally,
You really got to beat up the Bucks. You really just got to beat up the Bucks.
They're going to beat the Bucks, man. I mean, that's literally the only competition right now in this division.
Yes.
So I'm like, they got the easiest division right. And
Yes.
being in the NFC, thankfully, it's just going to depend on matchups. Because if you mess around and see a team who's been in a slump on the back end of the season, and as long as you genuinely just don't run into the 49ers, then you might have a shot. Like, I mean,
Right.
Lions and Falcons always are good games whenever they play, win or lose. So I genuinely feel like it can go either way. The main reason, bro, is that they got 2 All-Pro safeties in the backfield now. 2 or in the secondary, 2 All-Pro safeties in the secondary. Got Matthew Judon, who's who's gonna add another All-Pro, pretty much, who's gonna add to that defense.
Actually,
So
I really like that signing.
I'm like that. They've been making deals, man. They've been making hella deals, and I'm like, I think it's gonna work in their favor because for once, for probably the first time in a very long time, you can look at the roster on the Falcons defense and say, wow, they got a legitimate defense, or their defense might make noise. So the offense always clicks. It's just, I mean, can the defense be there? And now we got a quarterback, Kirk Cousins. That man, hey, all I'm gonna say, you're gonna see him rocking plenty of gold this season. Rocking the big Kirko chains. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna see plenty of Kirko.
See, I agree with you on most of the things. It's just that, like, your track record with, like, those type of teams, you guys more than not lose games you're supposed to win. Like, on paper, I 100% agree with you. I believe on paper, y'all look like an 11 game around that win team. I'm just seeing more like 9.
You know, I'm not upset at that, bro. For the longest, that has been the case where it's like, don't know what's going on with this team. This team can't seem to get it together. I'm gonna go ahead and say it was bad coaching, no quarterback play. bad coaching, nor no quarterback play. Huge reason for that. We kept
100%.
Ryan far too long, Dan Quinn far too long. And then
Yeah.
now that we finally, rebuilding,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what we. I don't know what we. He should have been gone when Shanahan got the two. So, man, they should have cleared house after that 28-3 loss. They should have cleared house. It's
Yeah, definitely should.
no reason anybody should have still been on staff. So, that's that. I think that's the reason why we've been seeing that routine of them. Oh, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good, and they're back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see though. We'll
Right.
see.
I mean, it's just a lot of guys have to mesh because 11 wins. That's a really good season.
Hey man, it's a great season. That is a great season for teams with 11 games. But our head coach is a Super Bowl champion. Helped the Rams back when they won the Super Bowl against the Bengals a couple years ago. I love that we have a coach who's actually been there and won. Like now I don't have to wonder. So it's hard for me to just think he's not going to set that tone of like getting back there. And he was already with the Atlanta Falcons earlier in his career coaching, I think as an assistant somewhere, but didn't have much success as an assistant with the Atlanta Falcons. But now the whole program is his. So we'll see. I think they got it.
All right, and then my last question, little odd. How many games do y'all have after 1 o'clock?
After oh, I know why he said that. I know why he said that.
Hey, they got.
Oh, I know why he said that.
There's a couple primetime games.
Yeah, put all them joints as L's. All the primetime games are L's.
No,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
no, they're not L's.
You can put an L next to all them primetime games.
He said that.
Kirk Cousins is a wonderful
Kirk Cousins
quarterback.
He said that because Kirk Cousins can't play in primetime games correctly.
A game with any meaning to it, any type of nationwide viewage, L.
Hey,
L.
Yeah.
all I know is, thankfully, to your point, it's only like 4. It's only 4. So
Hey, that's a part of the plan. That's a part of the plan.
Hey, yeah.
those can be the
You
4
added that
L's
into
along
your
with
8 losses.
those can be part of the 4 F's. I'll take it. Who cares? As long as they win a division and make it to the playoffs, I don't care. They can take the Bills on national television because they're gonna be playing again on national television in the playoffs when they got it under control.
Fred was clever with that one. I was like, hold on, why he said that? And then I put 2 and 2 together.
I thought he was headed somewhere with it.
Hey,
I thought he was headed somewhere.
My fault.
That was pretty wild stat about Kirk Cousins. The man just be disappearing in primetime games.
Man.
Well, hey, it's a new chapter for Kirko. New
See.
chapter.
We'll
chapter.
see. He's like 34.
He might
He's
be older than that.
He is 34. I don't know why the Falcons paid him all that money, but they paid him a whole bunch of money. Draft cow.
Little old is put that page over, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but that's a separate conversation. But y'all ain't about to stress me out about that quarterback when he about to take us to the Super Bowl. When he
You allowed to think whatever you want to think, sir.
Super Bowl champions.
I love it.
I'm
Sometimes when you're a fan, you gotta be delusional, and it's okay. That's fandom right there.
the perfect transition to Cowboys because we know how they get down.
Oh man, this is about to be my favorite part of the whole pod. This is my favorite part of the whole pod.
I would say thankfully you are not an insane Cowboys.
No, I got.
You're not.
Yeah.
Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't even dare say that come out my mouth this season.
Okay. Thankfully that's not the case. Because there's a lot of them out there who are like, oh man, we going to the Super Bowl. But that went Super Bowl MVP. I'm like, what?
17-0.
Right. I'm like, what?
I'm gonna be really realistic though, because I said this on your podcast last week, Manny. I have the Cowboys going 10-7. I don't see us winning the NFC East this year. There hasn't been a back-to-back division winner since 2004, which is pretty wild for our division. So I'm going to say the Eagles win it. We're going to be good enough to at least get a 5th or 6th seed, 7th seed if necessary. But I see 10-7 this year. our first 7 games could be the reason why we go 10-7 because we're going to play 5 out of 7 teams that were in the playoffs last year to start the season.
Damn.
We got to go on the road to play the Browns week 1. Got to play the Ravens week 3 at home. Got to play the Steelers week 5 at Pittsburgh.
And I
Got to
got
play
the
the
AFC
Lions
North
at home.
schedule.
And then at San Francisco, the team that is our kryptonite. So we're probably going to start off really, really slow and sluggish to start off our season. Now, a slow start could unfortunately lead to Jerry Jones, Grandpa Jerry Jones, talking bad about Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, who both are on their last legs in Dallas, and they're with 1 year to spare on their contract. So it could be trouble in paradise early for the Cowboys, but the second half of the season really isn't as brutal as the beginning part. So as the season goes on, I think they'll figure out the veteran running back room, which I don't know why we have a Zeke and Dalvin Cook. Like this is 2018, an all-pro running back room. They're both done.
26 seed.
Let me help
26.
let me help you. I know they always say the veteran, but let's just call it for what it is. The old ass running backs y'all got over there. The
Bro,
old ass. I'm sorry, bro. That
No.
bringing Zeke
Oh,
back, I respect it, but that's not a winning move.
Nah,
it's not.
Zeke was a cultural move. That's all that was.
Yeah,
And
that was
That was just
that's going to
for
hurt
culture.
rough.
because you can't sit back, let Dak throw the ball 50, 60 times trying to win games. But I think our defense also is going to take a little bit to adjust going from Dan Quinn's scheme to Mike Zimmerman's scheme, even though I said it was time for Dan Quinn to go. I mean, you had safeties playing middle linebacker, being your Mike linebacker, getting bullied in the running department in the box. That was just a recipe for disaster. So I'm glad Dan Quinn's gone. But I do think it is going to take a while for this team to get going. I think they'll find their footing later on in the second half to compete and get a wild card spot. But looking at the schedule, man, this is a pretty tough schedule. Like week 1 against the Browns, I'm gonna say that's an L, only because CeeDee Lamb has not been around in camp. You don't know what he really can do football shape wise because you could be in the best shape of your life, but if you're not taking them reps day in and day out, not running them routes at a high intensity, high speed, you don't know what could happen. Mike McCarthy, I think, is just going to get outcoached by Jim Schwartz, pretty good defensive coordinator for the Browns. They'll probably have a top 5, top 3 defense this year. So I'm going to say that's an L. Saints, that's an easy W at home. No disrespect, but they're not on our level. That's just a W. Now, this Ravens game could go either way, but for now, I'm going to say that's an L due to the fact that I feel like the Ravens defense, you guys still are going to have a good defense, right? But it could drop off a little bit because Mike McDonald's gone. I'm not saying it will, but it could. But I'm gonna say y'all probably run the ball down our throats. I'll say that's an L. Let's just keep it simple. We're gonna sweep the New York Giants. I would say that if Rob was in here or not. That's a W against the Giants. I'm gonna say that's a W on the road in Pittsburgh. That could be an interesting game because their defense could probably keep them in the game.
They're always just tough team to play, man. They're always the fucking.
I
God
don't know
damn,
why.
Mike Tomlin. Damn, just they could have babies playing. They're just tough to beat.
I don't know why, but yeah, it's always like that. The
So annoying.
Lions, this could go either way too. I don't.
Detroit, buddy.
I'm gonna say that's a W because of how competitive that game was last year, and I can see it being competitive again. I think that's a toss-up one. But since we're at home for that one, I'm gonna say W for that one. 49ers, just cross it out. L. There are kryptonites. We've gotten worse in the offseason. They stayed the same. We're just gonna lose that game. Falcons, like Manny said, I think that could be 50-50 when we play. I think that could go either way too. I'm gonna say we win this game, but it could go either way. Eagles, do we play? Oh, this one's at Jerry's World. I think we're gonna split between the Eagles, so I'm gonna say we win the first matchup against them. Let's see who's next here. Next one is the Texans. Oh, I think that could be one of the best games of the year, to be honest. Where is this game at? Dallas or Houston? It don't matter because they're both in Texas. So
Yeah.
I would say this, man. The days of the Cowboys winning that matchup, that's over with.
You might not be wrong about that because they are a pretty. I'm gonna say that's an L. I'll just say that's an L.
That probably will be a really good game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
D.
Absolutely.
The only reason I say that is just like us, Tom. We some regular season warriors, brother. We some regular
Hey,
season
we
warriors.
hey we in the same boat, bro. We went 12-5
We
for
some
years in
regular
a row in the
season Davids,
playoffs.
boy. We smacked the shit out of the team in the regular season, boy.
Then the playoffs come for us. We done. That we look like a 9-8 team in the playoffs. We don't even look like no 12-5 team no more. Commanders, just dock both games as W's. We're gonna sweep them too. Bengals. Oh, this game on my birthday for real. That could be
Oh,
a good thing or a bad thing. That's a Monday night game.
Ooh.
oh,
Oh, Monday night. That's gonna be a good game right there. Now, can Joe Burrow stay healthy?
That's what
Yeah.
I was about to say. That's why I say I'm gonna give us a W because at that point of the season, you don't know what could come, what injuries could be there. Plus,
And
last time we played them,
That dude Jamar Chase just don't want practice.
yeah.
Hey,
Plus, the last time we played, oh,
deciding-
what'd you say, Manny?
I was just gonna say that's a huge deciding factor on if the Ravens win that division. Is it Burrow is healthy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Also, if Deshaun Watson wants to even play 3/4 of what Deshaun Watson used to be,
Yeah. If he
three
can come
quarters.
back and perform at anywhere of a high level, y'all might be in trouble. Might be in trouble.
they got a squad over there. I don't see how they keep paying people and they still have so much money. How they do that?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
They just cleared up. Who you talking about? The Browns?
Yes, the
They just
Browns.
cleared up they cleaned up Deshaun Watson's contract, so now I think they have like 62 million in cap space now. That's a lot of money. But let's see, where am I? Panthers, that's a W. Bucks, I say that's a W at home. I said we lose in Philly late in the season. We normally split it with them, and we haven't had much success in Philly as of late. And I said the Commanders, we sweep them. So that could play out to 10-7. I'll say 11-6 at best. But I just think it's 10-7. We'll get in the playoffs as a wild card team and then just take it from there. But we're not going to the Super Bowl. We're not winning the Super Bowl. I'm just going to be a realistic Cowboys fan and say that.
That's acceptable. I think that sounds pretty fair. Because y'all got some games on here that's probably gonna be guaranteed L's, but it's just gonna depend on how momentum is going. Because like you said, starting off that season, y'all got some dog fights right away. So
They
if y'all,
did us dirty.
if y'all can get over that first hump, like the first 4 or first 5-6 weeks, and y'all winning some of these dog fights, then it's like, okay, y'all might be on that good side of 11-12 games. Y'all might be on somewhat of a decent side, but just really all through the season, y'all got some dogs. y'all
Yeah,
got some
they
dogs all through
they
the
kind
season.
of did us dirty this year. I ain't going.
Y'all coming off of man, just a Lions and then San Fran is just crazy right there, bro. That week
Nasty work.
6 and 7, like that ain't even no rest period. That's a straight back-to-back elite matchup. Then you go to Atlanta and then you play a divisional matchup in Philly. So like,
That's
yeah,
4 tough games.
that's
Well,
4 tough games.
I say 5 because you can't take anything away from the Steelers too because you don't know what how they're gonna play that. That's 5 straight weeks of tough matchup. There's no bye week in between this, is there? We might have a bye week after the Lions, or is that
You said what?
that? I was seeing if we had a bye week
Oh,
in between that because
y'all do. Y'all got a bye week after the Lions.
that's still tough.
It is tough because now you're going to have to come back after a week off and play 49ers. So it's like it is tough either way. But if y'all can win those games, those elite matchups, then, we might see some of these L's that we're talking about disappear. Like you may potentially be looking at like 12 games, 13 games, depending on if y'all can win it. Like that would be really good for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Now, personally, I don't think I could live with the Cowboys fans like having that much success, but for your sake, I'll honor it today and say that would be good for them.
yeah, we'll see, man. But I think if things don't go in the right direction, it's gonna be a big change for us around this time next year for sure. Roster wise, a big
Oh
change.
yeah. Oh
I,
yeah.
I think.
Possibly new coach, new quarterback.
Yep. I think that team get dismantled if
Hey,
y'all. So let's just say that team is gonna get dismantled after the season.
and then y'all can go get DJ.
Daniel Jones?
No,
No, DJ from
Miami.
FSU.
Wait, who?
Don't do that, bro.
DJ,
Don't
you
do
you
that to
can
me, yo. Yo, we would
Oh,
never win
are
nothing.
you
They
you
can't even beat Georgia Tech
Florida State?
or Boston College. How is he gonna be an NFL starter, bro?
You say y'all
Hey,
Florida State? Oh, that's boy. Hey,
And the
Florida,
man been bounced
State,
around their transfer portal for years.
yeah.
Florida State might not win 4 games. Might win 4 games, but no, I think DJ is from Texas though. He might be.
I don't want him, regardless if home discount or not. I don't know how you top 10 in the country and then you just lose to Georgia Tech and Boston College in your first 2 games.
All fluke, man. Straight fluke. They shouldn't have been ranked that damn high in the first place.
I understand they played 2 SEC teams right off the bat, but what the heck?
Nah, bro, that's unacceptable. You ain't supposed to think like that, bro. You ain't supposed to lose it. Not either one of those games, bro.
Mm-mm.
Against unranked teams, no, that's unacceptable. That's
Definitely is unacceptable.
But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next segment. We're gonna be sharing our sleeper picks to win MVP this year in the NFL, this upcoming NFL season. So, what players do you guys think are sleeper picks to win this year's MVP award?
Shit, I will go first again. Unless Manny, you want it?
Oh, sure. Let's do it. All right. So, every time I seen this team pop up on each of y'all schedules, because the Falcons don't have to play this team. I immediately was thinking about this dude, and I was actually waiting for this conversation because C.J. Stroud is definitely going to be in that conversation of winning MVP. I mean, damn, last year we already seen he was in the conversation of possibly winning MVP as a rookie. Like, it was debates as if he wasn't a rookie, he should have been in that conversation. So I think C.J. Stroud from the way that he was playing last year, we're definitely going to see something just as spectacular because he got a lot more options. You give him Stephon Diggs and even more pieces on the defense. I think he's really about to ramp it up. However, I will say one of the things that concern me is that teams in the NFL catch on fast. Teams catch on very quick in the NFL to what a guy does well, what he does bad, and what makes him uncomfortable. Now, I'm gonna give a little pushback on that uncomfortable thing because I don't think there is much in the game that really makes CJ Stroud uncomfortable when I'm watching him play. So that's just another reason why I'm like, all right, maybe he'll get it down. Maybe he'll like actually be a candidate for MVP. But I think as long as we see those exciting plays again, those great throws that we seen last year, definitely he's in that conversation because he threw for over 4,000 yards last year. Obviously was an elite top quarterback last year. And
Definitely.
especially in his division and in that conference of the AFC, which has kind of a lot of elite quarterback play. So definitely CJ Stroud, early MVP candidate for me. I'm going with him.
Ain't a bad take.
Yeah, I'm rocking with CJ Stroud, bro. I was thoroughly impressed last year. Thoroughly impressed. Seeing him do that as a rookie, bro. That was and like he's raised expectations for what people are expecting rookies to do. Because now you got people looking at the quarterback in Chicago, Caleb Williams, and they're saying, "Oh, is he about to have this season too?" Like since it's possible, a rookie can come in the league and dominate like this. Is he gonna do it too?
Completely
And it's like,
change your franchise.
yeah, literally changed it. And it's like that. Shout out to the Texans for honestly just doing a great job from head to toe of like really rebuilding too, because they landed a star in D'Amico Ryans too. So like that's huge for them. But I think they're obviously a team to be reckoned with this entire season. Um, no longer an easy dub on the schedule, and with CJ Stroud being there, man, that's gonna if the Texans do right by him, they might find themselves in a great situation.
I like that. The only thing I have is with CJ Stroud is I think he's already a top 10 quarterback, but like you said, the only thing that scares me for his sophomore season is the fact that NFL defenses learn, like, once you get enough film on somebody, that might not happen again. I think he's going to have like a really good season, but that's the only thing that just concerns me about him is, can the defenses find a way to adapt to him and see what they're capable of doing, stopping him and things like that?
Yeah, that's gonna be the toughest part because rookie, like they only have college film to look at, and they can pull film from previous weeks, but it's just a little bit different. Man. I feel like we've seen quarterbacks, whether they were making their debut off the bench or as a starter, whatever the case. I feel like we've seen many quarterbacks thrive half the season, then the following year, everybody's caught on to like, nah, this is all we got to do to stop him. This is all we got to do. I mean, we've even seen that course of like 6 weeks in the NFL. We've seen somebody get hot and then all of a sudden disappear. And it's like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah,
So,
That's true.
yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Of course.
That's my thing. I'm going with C.J. Stroud. Hopefully, he can avoid that. Hopefully, he overcomes that.
For me personally, I mean, Manny, I love your pick. Honestly, I do. I love it. But I wanted to stay away from the big names because I mean,
Okay.
obviously. So when I think of sleeper, I think of a guy who's not supposed to win it, but name could pop up in it this year, right?
Right.
And when I
Okay.
think of that, I think of um, guys who have the most to prove, either because their contract's coming up, people might just think he's ass, um, those type of things. He might be on a new team. Um, so I have four guys. I know we're supposed to pick one, but I picked four. Shut up. Um, so the first one, it hurts me to say his name. It hurts me, but he has a lot to prove. His wide receiver just got paid, and now he's
Yeah.
looking for a paycheck.
Yep. I was thinking about him.
Go ahead and
The
go
dude,
ahead
Dak
and say the
Prescott.
D word, Frank.
Dak
Go ahead and say the
Prescott.
D word.
All right,
Yeah.
Dak Prescott.
That's not who I was thinking of, actually.
That's
That
not.
is not, that is not who I was thinking of. But it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I just think he has the most to prove. Well, he's a lot to prove. I don't know about the most, but he has a lot to prove right now. I mean, his job is literally on the line right now.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't perform well, he might not be a Cowboy. I think he'll definitely get a job somewhere in the NFL as a starter, but it probably won't be with the Cowboys. Um, Another guy on my list, and Manny, I think you'll like this one. It's honestly why I was agreeing with you that you guys would have a good season is because you have a quarterback who is good.
Big
I
Kirk
think he's
out.
going to change the game a lot for you
Big
guys.
Kirk out.
But yes, the second one is Kirk Cousins.
Big
Um,
out.
he has a lot to prove. I mean, obviously, he's a sleeper for a reason. Don't get too big on him. His name isn't it for a
As long
reason.
as he win games.
Yeah, as long as he win games. But I mean, we seen last year. I mean, he was leading the league in passing yards. Still, like 3-4 weeks after he got hurt, he was still leading the league in passing yards. So we know he can do it.
And this is what I'm telling people,
We
bro.
know he can put up numbers.
He's a sleeper for sure. So that's perfect. That's very accurate, actually.
My third one is going to go to Tua. I mean, we see he has the offense. He has the weapons. I mean, explosive offense. Can score in 10, 15 seconds. I mean, but he just got to ultimately just get wins. Get wins that matter, really. And, can't lose the tough games towards the end of the season. And, I mean, I think his name is right up there with it. Also, the health. I mean, obviously you can't predict you landing on the back of your head and getting concussed and things like that. Also, a bit of his decision making. I don't think he's the best decision maker in the league. I think he throws a lot of bad interceptions.
Yep.
Um,
That was about to be my pushback.
yeah. So I mean, if he cleans up that stuff, I can definitely see him being on that list. And my last but not least, and actually I forgot about him talking like this. Give me a second. Mr. Pretty Boy himself, the dude out in Philly, Jalen Hurts.
Hell nah. I'm sorry. I'm
You don't
sorry.
you don't see Hurts possibly win the MVP, Manny?
Hell no. I don't see Jalen. I don't see him win MVP. They better not get that man MVP for getting his touched all damn game. They better not. They better not, man. I think Jalen Hurts is just mad overrated, bro, and I can't see him winning the MVP. A lot of what I noticed with the Eagles is him getting carried after game after game after game. This is a guy who was number 3 in interceptions last year. He did not look very well at all last year. Obviously, there was some talk of him possibly playing through an injury and all, but if that's the case, you need to take your ass to the sideline and sit down. Do not hurt yourself like that. Do not hurt your stock like that, because it's gonna be people like me that give him hell for looking how he was looking in the game. So I would I don't think they win it. I don't
So,
he has
um,
exciting running plays on occasion, but I just don't think we'll see enough. Like, I just don't think we'll see enough magic, if that makes
yeah.
any sense.
No.
Like,
I honestly 100% agree with you. He was last on my list for a reason. Um, I don't think that Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback. Um, unfortunately to say, I know he's on my sleeper MVP list, but I just think that the team around him, I mean, he has all the pieces. He has 2 amazing wide receivers. He has a fairly good tight end, um,
solid
and,
running.
an amazing running back. I
One
mean,
of the best, had one of the best centers in the league.
yeah, had one of the best centers in the league. Still, what is it, the left tackle or right tackle?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they still got all pro in that offensive line too.
What is it, Lane something?
I don't know. I don't
Hey,
remember.
Johnson.
Yeah, Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson. I mean, their offense is really good. Um, so I mean, if he can just put all the pieces together, I think he has a chance. Even if he gets carried, I mean, stats are stats, and that's really what people care about. So I
That's
mean, if he gets the stats to um, promote his MVP race, what are you gonna have to do? And
that's a good sleeper. I give you that.
yeah, ultimately, like I said, Manny, I agree with you. I don't believe he's the best quarterback, but in terms of people with the most to prove and in the best situations to do it, I think Jalen Hurts is up there.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at. I'm not mad at it just because of the conversation we're having, like
Yeah,
specifically sleepers. We're
right.
not saying guaranteed winners or who is most likely to win. I think, like you said, guaranteed
No.
sleepers.
Yeah,
So I agree just for that point, because it would catch me by surprise if Jalen Hurts is like in that conversation and does one. I would like shocked. I would be so shocked. So I agree with that.
No, funny. Who cat in the background?
my fault. That's crackhead back over there.
I got 2 things to say based off of what Fred just said. So, first thing, let's talk about when you said the D word, Dak Prescott possibly win MVP. All right,
Remember, they
relax.
sleepers.
I ain't going
They are sleepers. They are
relax.
sleepers.
I ain't gonna glaze him, but realistically, though, he does have a chance to, because he has been flirting with the idea of winning the award at least twice now in the past. And going back to that 2020 season, even though it was a COVID year and things were all around the world, especially in the NFL, when that Dallas Cowboys defense had a historic bad defense for the 5 games that Dak Prescott did play, he was putting the team on his back. Even though all the games didn't translate to wins, the man nearly had 2,000 passing yards in 5 games played. So, and that was the year he basically destroyed his ankle, and it was a contract year. So, I think Dak has the ability to lay it all out on the line to possibly get a new contract and possibly win his first MVP, because he was right there in the conversation with Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy and others last year. So, I don't think it's the worst thing to think about him possibly winning the award. And like Fred said, if we don't re-sign him, there's going to be teams like the Panthers, the Giants, the Raiders. There are going to be several teams lining up their wallets, giving out paychecks to Dak Prescott because they need a quarterback like that.
Definitely.
But
Definitely.
I think that
Facts.
he does have a chance to win. Now, the second thing I'm going to say is the Jalen Hurts thing. I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts personally is a good quarterback, but to Manny's point, I've been saying this a long time since they built this team around Jalen Hurts. How much help does this guy really need? Because he's got the
Thank
talent, he's got the arm,
you.
he's got the legs, but how many trades you got to do to put talent around him? How many uh, bona fide steals that Howie Roseman gets away with to build this team around Jalen Hurts to make it a super team year in year out? They got one of the best offensive lines in the league. Saquon Barkley, you just got one of the best running backs in the league that just came from a rival in the Giants. They got A.J. Brown a few years ago to really save his ass. It's just like how much help does he really need? That's the only thing. And I know he did get to the Super Bowl, but that had to be one of the biggest cakewalk Super Bowl runs in NFL history. I'm sorry to say, you played Daniel Jones in the second round. Then the 49ers lost two quarterbacks to the point where I don't know who the heck the emergency quarterback was at that point. But they couldn't even throw the ball.
I think it was like a wide receiver or something like that.
Yeah, well, they had to do running plays the whole entire second half. There was no passing plays. They were just stuck. So those two playoff games that he has won, I do gotta take away from it actually, because they were cakewalks. But it's just like I know he's good, but like how much help do you really need at the quarterback position? Because there's a lot of teams, a lot of quarterbacks. The general managers say, "Oh, we don't have the money. Just go out there and do it yourself." Jalen Hurts has been lucky and blessed for several situations of how Howie Roseman has built the team.
And to have a great defense, too, just to back that up.
Yeah.
Solid defense. And, I've seen Carson Wentz and Nick Foles go out there and dominate with less. I've seen Carson Wentz and Nick Foles go out there and fucking win a Super Bowl with less. So seeing Jalen Hurts have all of these defenses and he's still struggling the way he is, very inconsistent like he is, I can't stand behind that.
And the thing is, the media didn't even talk about the fact that I'm glad Manny said that about his interception ratio. The man was not only was he turning the ball over and throwing picks, but fumbles too. That man was like Josh Allen last year.
Exactly.
Leading the league in turnovers.
Exactly. And the league, the media be all over Josh Allen every time he throw an interception or he fumbles the rock. They quick to get on Josh Allen, which they should be, but it's like, okay, when boy out here really doing the same thing, everybody's saying a single word. What's going on?
That is true. That is true. So I got three sleepers here. The first one, I'm gonna go ahead and say Matthew Stafford. So I think Matthew Stafford has a chance to win MVP because last year the Rams had a top 10 offense, and there was times where Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua missed time last year. All four of them didn't spend a lot of time on the field together at the same time. But I think with Kyron Williams at running back and Puka Nacua being our wide receiver, they were difference makers for this Rams offense last year. And I think the Rams defense is definitely going to be shaky and suspect to start off with because Aaron Donald's not there anymore. So Matthew Stafford's going to be asked to play a lot of hero ball at times, get them back into the game, and be passing the ball a lot. That could pad his stats as well. And I would say at least if he has Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua healthy for a long time, because we've seen him elevate some wide receivers. He's played with some good ones. Calvin Johnson, he's an all-time great, but he did give him one of his greatest seasons in NFL history. Same with Cooper Kupp. If he has Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua together on the field for most of the games, I can see them winning 10 to 11 games based off of the production that Matthew Stafford can give.
He gave Cooper Kupp one of the best statistical wide receiver years as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. I 1,000% agree with that. I would not. I mean, I guess I would be surprised because he's a sleeper, but I also wouldn't be super surprised if Stafford was in that conversation because I think he should have been in that conversation for many, many years. But just the fact that he was with a poor Detroit team and it was just never anything to talk about with the Lions. Him being, he's always been a good quarterback. He's always thrived, and even that Super Bowl season we seen, he played amazing, and he could have been in that conversation then. But I wouldn't be surprised because that's a dude who definitely deserves it. I think he's in that caliber of quarterbacks, a rare breed, if you will, that's still left in the NFL. Like you had your guys like Brady, obviously, who's a GOAT. Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. You had guys who were like GOATs of that time.
Yeah.
But then you also had guys where I would say like Drew Brees is in there, got Aaron Rodgers, skillful guys who can't really get back every single time, but they're still damn good quarterbacks. And along that era, Stafford is right there in that same era of being one of those elite quarterbacks who's still in the league and has been in the league for some time. So he has the IQ, he has that experience to be able to sharpen his game and become better. So I think
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's a lot on a quarterback when you throw for 5,000 yards, but you lose 16 games.
that would be brutal.
like we can.
You can't
It's tough.
do nothing at that
Tough.
point.
It's like nobody gonna say, "Oh, that dude who lost 16 games is MVP." Like
No, no way,
it ain't happening. So it's
never.
tough.
Yeah,
Next player I got, Fred said it, but I'm gonna say Kirk Cousins too,
Big
because
Kirk up.
like Fred said, that man. Hey, this is sleeper, but that man really does have a lot to prove. Think about it. Coming off that torn Achilles, the Vikings didn't want nothing really to do with him during free agency. After all them years, and he was padding the stats and statistically looked good as a top 10 quarterback stat wise over the years with the Vikings. Then he gets that massive contract with the Falcons, then turns around, didn't even know the team was going to draft a rookie quarterback 8th overall in Michael Penix Jr. He's got a lot to prove. I think
yeah.
he's going to come into the season being pissed off.
Oh yeah.
So I think he has a chance to be a real dark horse to win the award because he's going to have a top 5 offensive line this year. He's going to have time to drop back in the pocket to throw the ball. He could elevate Drake London, who we all know has potential, and Kyle Pitts.
You can
Hopefully,
finally get Kyle Pitts going.
look. As a Gators fan, I've always believed in my boy Kyle Pitts. But for somehow, some way, Arthur Smith has never schemed him into his offense. And I know the potential is there. So hopefully something is unlocked here. No, I ain't giving up on Kyle Pitts. I
No,
think
no,
he's
I'm not
there.
either. But I'm just saying the scheme itself.
Yeah. Like you gotta Kyle Pitts has the speed. He's just so big. He has the speed to really be a wide receiver, but he's just like a big body, so you gotta play him at a tight end.
Yeah,
But
I could
and
definitely.
then Bijan Robinson as well in the backfield. You can pad the stat. He's gonna pad the stats for you. Screenplays and all that stuff. Dak sucks. Ain't nobody talk about Dak Michi, but
No, no,
y'all
me
get
too.
what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, definitely.
Now this one for sports bettors might shock y'all. I'm gonna
Okay.
say Aaron Rodgers, and he's only a sleeper because he has a 2,500 odds to basically win MVP. That's tied for 12th heading into the season. So sports bettors, that might be a good one to put a
I
bet
mean,
on.
he really is a sleeper though, because I mean, dude's what 41 years old, just coming off of an ACL tear.
Yeah,
Yeah, Achilles.
That's
Yeah,
a sleeper to win MVP
Yo,
right there.
that's very. I don't think too many people is expecting him to win
I didn't
coming
even
off
think
that.
about it. Like, he just went right over the top of my head. 'Cause
20.
that's a really good pick.
That is that. I would throw $5 on that. Just throw $5 on it. But that is pretty good for someone who even shouldn't even be considered a sleeper, who's a 4-time MVP, one of the greatest of all time. I think you have to say he is a sleeper because nobody's talking about him. There's so many good quarterbacks in the league that you think of MVP this year. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, if healthy, and several others. You're not even talking about Aaron Rodgers. So I think if he could come out there, if the Jets do what they're supposed to do with this roster, like they were supposed to do last year until Zach Wilson stuck up the joint, he has a chance to win MVP with this offense. Now, Garrett Wilson, we could see another Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, something similar that Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson can have together. Brees Hall is an animal, and if their offensive line has improved, like projected to improve, I think Rodgers has a chance of winning this award as well. And also knowing, like Fred said, he is 40, 41. If one bad year in New York, they might try to get him out of town. That is a tough
Didn't
city to play in
they
for
just give him
football.
another extension? Don't he have 2 more years left?
I think he has 2 years left on the deal. But if say for instance, they win I know they won't, but if they won 5 games or something, that would be something would have to be addressed out there in New York. If he was healthy and he only ended up winning 5, 6 games.
Yeah.
They gonna change a lot. They gonna change a lot.
I think I think they'll change a lot. I just don't think they'll change as much as everybody expects them to. I think they just barely sneak into the playoffs.
That's not bad either because the AFC is so damn stacked. If
Yeah.
they were in the NFC, they would be fine.
Yeah.
But the AFC, there's so many. That's why I said I still think the AFC is varsity and NFC is JV because
Yeah.
there's so many good teams. They're not. I think the Dolphins are going to win that division personally, but there's so many good teams. Not only in their division because they got to play Josh Allen twice a year and
Yep.
Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins. There's just so many powerhouse teams in the AFC. It's just like if they don't win it, can you really blame them? Because they got to go through a gauntlet just to get there.
Yeah, I think Dolphins definitely have the talent to win, and like when you look at how they match up against everybody else, I think they have a slight advantage. But we know how the Dolphins get in cold weather. That's going to be they right there. If they can avoid cold weather games, then they'll be all right. They'll definitely be okay. But having to go play Buffalo in Buffalo, having to go out to New York, like they got to make sure they secure these easy wins in the regular season so they don't have to go out to the cold weather toward the back end of the season because they're gonna lose easy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I am I know I constantly talk trash about the Jets, but I am still slightly higher than them simply because that dude Garrett Wilson. If Rodgers can give him the ball, he is disgusting. He could become a top 5 wide receiver in the league. He is that
Yeah.
good.
He is. He never got a chance to
No,
prove it
he
because the
never.
quarterback has been terrible since he's got there.
I feel like
And he's still a top 10 with guys like Zach Wilson throwing to him every day. So when he gets the actual quarterback thrown to him, he's about to tear the league apart.
yeah, I definitely see him having a lot of success if Aaron Rodgers can get him the ball. I will say too, there's another guy we kind of left out. I think he'll for sure be in the MVP conversation. He gets a lot of hype because of the team he plays for. I think the hype is a little bit more than what he actually shows us on the field. But I think Brock Purdy is going to be in that conversation to possibly win the MVP. Brock
Yeah.
Purdy will be the MVP. Probably him playing for the 49ers. Him coming off a damn good last year. Being top 5 in completion percentage, top 5 in passing yards. I think it's going to make people hype him up even more coming into this season. So if he repeats the same things he's been doing last year, I think he'll be in that conversation. Went to the Super Bowl. He really shut up a lot of doubters, including myself, from the way he was playing in the playoffs because I was giving him a hard time all season. But he going on. He did. So I think Brock Purdy for sure is going to be in the conversation.
Man, I just rolled over last night and became a Brock Purdy believer. I'm not going to lie to you.
Hey,
I was hating for the longest.
Hold on.
I was hating for the
I was hating on him too, man. I was hating on him for a minute, but
Brock Purdy is what Jalen Hurts is supposed to be statistically. You have a dominant team around you. You have to put numbers up, and that's what Brock Purdy does.
Hey,
I mean, you could give him the conversation. His team is nice, but he works with what he has, and he does it very well.
I want you to know right now, Red. I want you to know you're gonna hear me say that. Hey, you're gonna hear me say that. I'm gonna credit you, but you're gonna hear me say that because that is the most accurate thing I've heard all offseason. All offseason. That is the most accurate thing I heard. Brock Purdy is what we expect Jalen Hurts to be, bro. You couldn't have said it better. He uses all of his pieces, and when people are injured or down, he needs to make a big play. He does that. That is a key difference in, one team is stacked with a quarterback, and this team is stacked with a quarterback, but they're not living up to expectations because, Niners, they're stacked on both sides of the ball, but Brock Purdy still plays his role and he plays it to perfection. So it's you just have to respect that because I was hating on him for a long time. But it's you gotta respect that. And then seeing him last year in the Packers game, in the playoffs, I was like, bro, what can you say bad about him? You saying he can't throw? He's throwing dots.
Throwing dots all over the field.
Throwing dots. You say he can't throw the ball far, he's throwing dots far. It was insane to watch, man. Insane to watch.
And the worst thing is when you think about Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy as quarterbacks, you'd say that Jalen Hurts was a better quarterback.
I mean, yeah, the way media is now, most people does say Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. But here's where they're mistaken. It's not that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a better athlete.
Yes.
That has a lot to do with it too.
One more time.
I said that has a lot to do with it too. His athleticism.
Absolutely, 1,000%. So it's like I for sure think Brock Purdy being the guy who we expected Jalen Hurts to be. That's very accurate. That's very accurate.
I like that. I like that. But with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next segment. So this is the part where we're going to share our predictions of the NFL Week 1 primetime night game. So we'll have 4 games to cover: the night game for Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. So I want Fred to go first for this one. It's the Chiefs versus Ravens AFC championship game rematch. Fred gave us a spoiler earlier in the episode. He said the Ravens are going to win. Fred, I want to know why you believe the Ravens will defeat the Chiefs tomorrow.
Of course. We got 8 and number 22. Okay. 8 being LJ, 22 being D. Henry. All right. And I don't like how, I keep seeing online that people keep saying Derrick Henry's old. He's not going to be able to move the way he used to move. That's a lot of weight to move for an old dude. If brother is 6'2", 250 pounds. All right. When that train starts moving, nobody's stopping that train. All right. I don't give a damn if he was 40 years old. It's like, no, I do. But when that train starts moving, it's over. Okay? And if we run a zone read and we have Derrick Henry going to the left and you bite even kind of that way, Lamar is pulling that joint and he is taking it for 60 yards down the sideline. And I think we will run the ball down the Chiefs' throat. Absolutely run the ball down their throat.
That ain't happening. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. That ain't happening.
We can put a little side bet on it if you want to, Manny. You put a little side bet on it?
I would. However, I'm also going for the Ravens to win. I think the Ravens will win that game there. I just don't think it will be easy and sweet as you mentioned now.
I don't think it's going to be easy and sweet because, Patrick Mahomes is on the other side of the field. I don't like him, but the dude's amazing at football.
So, originally, in my mind, I'm like, all right, Chiefs is going to win this game. Like, for sure, Chiefs. They've won 4 out of the last 5 games that they played against the Ravens. Like, they just beat them in the playoffs. Like, I was immediately going Chiefs immediately. But the thing that switched for me is the fact that, hey, we were talking about it all episode. The Baltimore Ravens are regular season juggernauts. They are animals when it comes to the regular season. So this is
like that title, cuz.
Hey, that's just what it is,
my name, cuz.
That's just what it is.
You made me pull up my jersey. You made me pull up my jersey.
They're regular season juggernauts. Even if you put that jersey on, it change the fact that they regular season juggernauts. So that's going to play a huge factor. They just lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs in a disappointing loss, an unrecognizable Baltimore Ravens team. So they already got something to prove. And then when you look at the Chiefs' perspective, we know they're trying to three-peat. But let's be honest, bro. We've seen this with all the great teams who've been to the Super Bowl in multiple years, been to the finals multiple years, been to the World Series multiple years. Anytime you go back year after year after year, you're not worried about the first game of the season. You get a little bored in the regular season. You start to just be like, whatever. Like, okay, it's week 1. We got to start all over again. And then just to get back to the Super Bowl. So you get a little bored. You get a little relaxed sometimes, even though they're going into this three-peat season. And I think we seen it last year with the Lions. They beat the Chiefs in the opener. People was just super excited. But, clearly the Chiefs just they didn't look as good. They were just a little out of it. And you can't blame them. I don't think it'll be a crucial loss where it's like, oh, the Chiefs is something different. They're not going back to back. They're not three-peating. It's going to spark up a lot of conversation. But the Chiefs get a little bored. And because the Chiefs sometimes get a little bored because they're used to playing in Super Bowls, I think that's why we'll see the Ravens show themselves as regular season juggernauts and really, maybe beat down on the Chiefs. But I don't know if they'll beat down just because the Chiefs have a great defense. And also, like you said, they got that man on the other side of the ball and Pat Mahomes.
You know, the entire time you said we was going to win was backhanded as hell. All right, you said we was going to win simply because the other team was bored.
Hey yo,
Like these dudes
hey
is
yo.
Superman or something. And we did some regular deglars, and Superman just got bored.
Hey, the Ravens are a good team. I know you got Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry ain't gonna solve the problem of being regular season juggernauts. The running
He's gonna
game,
help it. He's
the
gonna help.
running game wasn't an issue last year.
Right, not running the ball was the issue,
I mean,
and that's another thing. I love John Harbaugh. He is one of the greatest coaches in the league right now, but he's on the hot seat. I'm not gonna lie to you. We cannot have another game like that in the playoffs. If another game like that happens in the playoffs, he's got to go.
I'm gonna tell you,
He's got to go.
I don't
You
think
had your chance.
Harbaugh. Harbaugh is gonna leave that organization before they leave him.
That's
You,
fine with me. That's fine. We cannot have another game like that. We can't just run the ball. What was it, like 6 times in a playoff game against Patrick Mahomes? Especially when one of our running backs had the ball twice and had like 30 yards off of 2 touches.
but that's Todd Monken's fault. The problem with Harbaugh is
No,
you
no,
don't
no, no,
keep
no.
your
Listen,
composure.
listen. If you're the head coach, because the same thing happened with Greg Roman in the year prior when we played the Chiefs again. We just stopped running the ball in the second half. If you're the head coach, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
This is your team. It comes down from you. You are the head honcho. So when shit goes wrong, people look at you, not your offensive coordinator. Yeah, he might be calling the plays, but you have the authority to be like, hey, we need to run the fucking ball.
Yeah.
We need to do
That's
something.
true.
This is not working. Okay, us passing the ball every single play, especially when the run was working when we tried it, and then granted, every time we had 0 rushing attempts inside the red zone.
That is a horrible stat, and y'all are run
0
first team.
rushing attempts. And with a run first team, we were running down the entire season. We were running down people's throats. 0 rushing attempts in the red zone. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And we got to point at the head coach for that.
That's rough.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
So if that happens again, I love John, but you got to go, my boy. You got to go.
Well, they're going to give him the Mike Tomlin treatment. They're going to be like, oh, he's so good in the regular season. He wins. He takes care of business. He's not going anywhere. That's what I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah, I know. I actually agree with you. It hurts my soul. It hurts my soul. Because John kind of like an uncle to me, you know what I'm saying? I used to look up to John. I was raised on John.
That Super Bowl that y'all got when we were in 8th grade, you was raised by
What?
that.
What? Come on now.
years ago.
Hey. When last time you went to the Super Bowl? Let's talk about that experience.
Who, me?
Tom, you was laughing awfully hard,
More
Tom.
reason than the
You was
Ravens.
laughing awfully hard. Okay, but what happened
More
in that
reason
Super
than
Bowl?
the Ravens.
What happened in that Super Bowl?
Hey, more reason than the Ravens, though.
All right.
Hey,
I want you to
I
know.
was I was a floating sperm. You know
You
what I'm
wasn't
saying? When the
eating that,
Cowboys,
brother. You wasn't eating that, brother.
I wasn't even that. You right?
Papa ain't even produced you yet.
It's silly,
That's
dog.
bad, yo. All right, this game, I think it go either way. I'm going a different route. Give me the Chiefs to win this game. Only because I think it's going to be different from last year. Last year when they lost to the Lions in the opener, they did lose that game by 1 point, but they were missing 2 factors on the side of the ball, Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. And they'll both be playing tomorrow, so I think that's going to be a reason why they win this game. Patrick Mahomes head-to-head, I don't know why, and it shouldn't be so one-sided when they play Lamar Jackson. Like Manny said, he's won 4 out of the 5 matchups, 4-1 against Lamar Jackson. But I got 3 matchups of the reason why the Chiefs are going to win tomorrow. Travis Kelce versus Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton, Fred, is one of the best safeties in the league, hands down. But when he had a matchup against Travis Kelce in that AFC Championship in Baltimore with his girl Taylor Swift in attendance, he had 11 catches, 116 yards receiving, and a touchdown. I think that's going to be a key matchup. I like the matchup, cornerback versus wide receiver, Trent McDuffie versus Zay Flowers. I think that's going to be a good matchup. I think Trent McDuffie gets the better of him because I think the Ravens will lean to the running game. But the third reason, Fred,
I'm a leader.
that hole in your roster, the one hole I see is that offensive line. Y'all replaced, 2 to 3 offensive linemen
3.
during the offseason? 3? Yeah, that pass rush is getting home to Lamar tomorrow.
Ooh-wee.
I think we're gonna see a lot of contains.
And I
I
think
see
that's where the run comes in. I think if we run down the throat, the play action is going to be wide open.
that
Shout out
should
to,
be the game
shout
plan.
out to Derrick Henry.
But if y'all if y'all are down by at least 10, you know the running game is out the window. That's what concerns me.
Yeah, you ain't running the rock like that. You gotta let it fly.
They should still stick with the game. If you're down by 14 or more, okay, then you gotta start passing majority of the time. 60% plus of the time. But if they just gotta stick with the game play, stay calm and stick with the run. If they stick with the run, Fred, I think they got a shot tomorrow. But
Also, back to that Trent McDuffie and Zay Flowers matchup. I'm just saying, in that playoff game, Zay was cooking up on L'Jarius Sneed. If not
They did.
for that fumble, Zay would have had probably one of the best rookie wide receiver playoff games of all time. But he did fumble.
that ain't bad
He
take.
did
He
fumble.
did get him on that go route. He did get Snead on that go route.
He
He
was
did get him.
cooking.
Yeah.
But L'Jarius Sneed made a very veteran play, knocked the ball out, and game kind of fumbled away from there, which still haunts me to this day.
You make a great point too, Thomas. You brought up. I don't know how I forgot about it. I don't know how. Maybe it's just been off season for a little too long. But you brought up the Swifties. That's
Oh,
be a fact.
stop, man.
That's
I didn't miss him. I did not miss him.
that is a huge factor.
You know
Fred,
you arrived in the NFL, even though you're one of the biggest artists in the world. You know you arrived when you can go to a Bills playoff game, and get your own food item on the menu. You're not even in Kansas City. You're in Buffalo, and you get your own food item, your
I was
own
not hip
personal.
about that. I was not hip.
Yo, I forgot what it. I don't know if it was a glizzy or not. I'm about to look it up. Yo, I'm telling you, she got her own food item that was like $20, nearly $20, Fred.
That's crazy.
Hold on, let me see.
because
That's crazy.
the Chiefs might win off of that just alone. They might win off of that alone. Look, to hell with the matchups. To hell with what happened in the past. They might win off
Man,
of
if that
Swifty alone.
blonde hair white lady's in the crowd, y'all cooked.
All right, so this was it.
Taylor Gang is a force to be reckoned with. And I'm not talking about Wiz Khalifa.
So it was actually 2 items for catering for the Swifties. It was Bad Blood waffle fries and a Karma quesadilla, named after 2 of Taylor Swift's hit songs.
I ain't gonna lie
How
to you.
bad you got to glaze to do something like that on the road for a playoff game?
Excuse my language, but look what money make a bitch do. That is
The glazing is
crazy.
serious.
Glazing. You knew you was gonna make some money up them damn waffle fries, didn't you?
Hey, they for sure got to make their bread, dog. They got to make.
That's wicked. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, get your paper.
I ain't mad at it,
Get your paper.
man. I'll be trying to collect the bag too.
You want to share some?
I think it was so bad. I think it was so bad too during the Super Bowl. There was a bet to say if the Chiefs won. I don't know how true this is because I never saw it. I probably would have said yes, but there was a bet apparently that if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, which they did, that Travis Kelce would propose to Taylor Swift after the game. You know how wild, yo, the Swifties. I totally forgot all about it. They about to take over. I think this is worse than last year,
brother. It's a mob.
Taylor Gang, bro. Taylor Gang.
Next game, I don't know why this game's happening in Brazil, but
I don't know either. That's weird as shit.
Yeah.
You see they can't wear green either?
Yeah. Bro.
Gang banging out there, apparently.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
the whole Eagles colors. What the hell? What are they going to do without green?
That I've seen.
Packers basically, well, they're not all the way green like the Eagles, but they got green too. So, like, how's it supposed to work? Not only that,
I guess one wears white, one wears black.
I saw the other day, like, you know how, like, the NFL, like, they'll tweets out showing highlights and updates of primetime games. Yo, in Brazil, Twitter/X is banned in that country. So how is that hurts the NFL on market standpoint if you're trying to advertise the game on a platform Elon Musk can't even do nothing about it. So it's like, what are they going to do for this game? I think this should be a one and done with games
Yeah,
being played in Brazil.
yeah,
But
yeah.
here we got it: Eagles versus Packers on a Friday night. Who do you guys see in winning this NFC matchup?
Whew, man. I think early in the season, I had the Packers.
That's not a bad pick at all.
Yeah, I mean, uh, going to the Eagles defense, Darius Slay is still a dog, but James Bradbury is chicken over there. James
I
Bradbury.
think at some point he's going to get replaced by them young cornerbacks that they got
Yeah,
in Philadelphia.
yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to step up and be actual NFL threats yet. I do like the what is this Cooper DeJean. I like him a
Yeah,
lot, but we'll see. And also, I might put a bet on this. I think Jaden Reed might cook up in that game.
I got him on my parlay. I think I had him over 60 yards receiving. I think he could get more, but
Yeah.
will he play in he'll be in the slot.
Yep.
Would he be in the slot?
Yep. He's in the slot.
Yeah, he'll be in the slot. Yeah,
I think he'll be cooking up in that game too.
I definitely already put him on my slip for the week. 60 plus yards.
So yeah. Hey, that's another quarterback who has something to prove. He just got paid a big old bag of money. So let's see if he can be worth it.
And there, you missed it. We already talked about the Falcons, man. We was talking about Kirk Cousins as a dark horse for MVP. Go ahead, Manny.
I think for that Eagles Packers, I'm going Packers to win that. I'm going Packers to win that for sure. I think that one is it. Oh yeah, that I don't think I ever mentioned my pick on there, but I think Packers win that game. But for Atlanta and Steelers, did y'all go on that one already? Or jumping ahead.
Oh no, we probably wouldn't cover that because that's not a prime night game. But you get
right.
that too, though.
You know, I'm trigger happy about Atlanta, so let me just pipe down a little bit. Let me pipe down. But now
He was trying to get Tenarius to show. That's what he was. He trying to boot
yeah,
shit off my man.
it piped down a little bit, but for that one mainly because I didn't really say my say on that one, but I don't know why the game is also in Brazil. It's just wild. But I think Jalen Hurts will slowly begin to see that he's not the quarterback that everybody thinks he is, and we'll see the opposite with Jordan Love. Jordan Love being an elite quarterback. Also, Jordan Love is going to face that sophomore slump possibility as well. We was talking about CJ Stroud too, because obviously he made his debut last year, played great, but teams got more film on him. So if they can really pick him apart and see what he does well, what he doesn't do well, that can obviously have a huge impact. But I think starting off coming out the gate, I got Packers winning this.
So I guess I'm on my own again for this one. I don't want to say they'll win this game, but I just feel like the Eagles will win this game. I feel like this is going to be a tough matchup, and it could go either way because the Packers and the Eagles are going to be two elite teams in the NFC, I believe, this year. But I just feel like the Eagles are going to come out the gates hot after their collapse. They were on top of the world in the NFC, 10-1, fumbled the number one seed in the NFC for the playoffs, fumbled the NFC East Conference, and they got a belt to ass treatment by the hands of Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the wild card. So I think they're going to come out hot with an attitude of we're here and we're going to show you why. But I just feel like that X factor early on in the season, especially in this game, is going to be Saquon Barkley. I think he's going to be used in the game plan early to run the ball down the Packers' throat, even though Kellen Moore, former offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, used to be pass happy back in the day. I think he's going to learn of how to balance the run and the pass this year. I think the game plan is going to have Saquon Barkley run the ball early and effectively to set up the RPO to get Jalen Hurts going in the running department as well. And then I just like the A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith matching up against the Packers secondary. I mean, Jair Alexander can't follow both of them at the same time, unfortunately. So I think that's where the Eagles get the better of the Packers, but I expect a close game for sure in that game. Let's see. Next game is a Sunday night game, Lions versus Rams. A rematch from the wild card game. Who you guys have winning this game?
Well, since just a couple years ago when the Rams was in the playoffs, people was calling them the Detroit Rams. because they were cheering for Stafford. But pretty interesting that we get to see these teams battle it out again now that the Lions can actually cheer for themselves. But with that all being said, I think right off the bat, home team is going to win this for sure, and that home team is the Lions. I think we're going to see Stafford go back into a loud, crazy, rowdy environment just because he played there, obviously, as we know, and then he went back in the playoffs last year in a close game that they almost pulled down. It'll be definitely close, but I'm going to get us to the Lions because it's their season opener at Ford Field, and that's a huge advantage just being at home when there is a tough game. So going with the Lions to win that for sure.
I man, Manny, I guess we're thinking the same today. All right, because I'm going with the Lions. I like the Lions. I like the type of team they are. I like that they don't need any type of extra motivation to come up and just hit somebody in the face. They're almost like the Knicks in basketball.
Yeah, almost.
They play hard. Everybody for the whole game plays super hard. And I think that might just be too much. Well, I don't think it's gonna be too much for the Rams, but I think that is giving them the edge over the Rams.
Yeah.
And I just think the Rams team is kind of fading away a little bit.
So I feel like Rams don't get a lot of hype, but like if you watch them, you like, damn, that's a great football team, or like that's a damn good team. But they just a lot of hype because you got other teams that's just like so loud and vibrant in that like whether the Eagles are good or not, people are always oh the Eagles is it. Cowboys another team. No disrespect to them Cowboys out there, but people just always talk about the Cowboys win or lose. Even if you're looking in the same state of California, the 49ers are another team where win or lose, people are always going to talk about them. So Rams just kind of sit right under the hype spectrum, and I mean, as long as they ball out, people will be surprised come playoffs, and they're like, damn, how the Rams make it? Were they actually that good? And it's like, yeah, they've been good. It's just you've been too busy talking about the 49ers the whole year. So I think that's why a lot of people underestimate the Rams and don't really give them the respect that they deserve. But either way, I'm still going with the Lions matchup because the
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't think the Rams' defense is all that. Their offense is, I think, it's going to be wonderful. But there's one person, and I mean, if we did a sleeper DPOY, he would definitely be on my sleeper, and that's that dude Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Dude's a baller.
Absolutely.
Absolute baller. I think he's just a game wrecker, and I think he will wreck this game for the Rams. So
yeah.
That's another reason why we're going with Detroit.
Yeah. I like two things what you guys said. Manny with the Rams being in California, same state as the 49ers. I think the reason why they stay afloat year in and year out, even though they put their chips all in one basket for that 2021-22 Super Bowl run where they got Odell Beckham and Von Miller.
You can't get at it either.
Yeah, and they had Jalen Ramsey still there too. The reason why they adapted so well is because Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in football. I mean, that man is an offensive. He's boy genius.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He is good.
He don't
get
credit. He does not get credit.
I don't think so either. But
you don't think Sean
if he were to walk away, huh?
You don't think Sean McVay gets enough credit?
I don't think credit.
I think
similar,
go ahead, man.
What we're saying or similar to how you said Brock Purdy is who we think Jalen Hurts is. I think Sean McVay I think Kyle Shanahan is who we think Sean McVay is.
I think people glaze Sean McVay. I mean, I also think people glaze Kyle Shanahan. People love Kyle Shanahan. But I think people love Sean McVay too. I mean, I think they credit that whole Super Bowl to Sean McVay, putting that whole team together, setting that offense up. I mean, even now the offense is ridiculous, and I think they credit that all to Sean McVay.
He's done a damn good job bringing that team. And
he is smart though.
He's very smart.
Because now Raheem Morris, the Falcons head coach, came from under Sean, and that's what helped him get the Super Bowl. So he built that coaching tree too, where he got a lot of people up under him who saw success or seen success, and they're going off to other places. So I think he's definitely going to be one of those coaches that stick around that organization for a long time.
Kyle deserves the glazing though. But yeah, I think McVay is the reason why they keep them afloat. And then Aiden Hutchinson, I think also really, I think he is on his way to being one of the best pass rushers in the league. There's so many good pass rushers when you think of guys like Nick Bosa, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons. There's just so many good pass rushers. But I don't think that's a bad pick for sleeper defensive player of the year award because Aiden Hutchinson, we saw what he did at Michigan. He's on his way. He's been showing developing signs since he's got into the National Football League. So I don't think that's a bad take for his third year, Fred. I'll say for this game, and this is we're all finally on the same boat, but I got the Lions winning this game too. I think it's going to be the same outcome as the wild card game, a close competitive game, but Matthew Stafford's return back to Detroit being ruined with a loss. Like Fred was saying, I expect this game to be won in the trenches, offensive line and defensive line. I think the offensive line for the Lions should set up pretty well for the running game. I think they should block well against the Rams defensive front. And they're also going to be missing number 99, Aaron Donald, in this rematch. He was a big factor. It's not there anymore. So I think that's going to give Jared Goff more time in the pocket to set up the pass the ball or set up for better play action options. And I also think for the defensive side of the ball for the Rams, their secondary is very suspect. If Tre'Davious White is out there, he could be barbecue chicken because the man has been injured for a long time. When he is on the field, healthy, playing at elite level, he could be considered one of the good, great cornerbacks in the league. But this is not the game to return because St. Brown, barbecue chicken for this one. I think Sam Laporta could get busy on those linebackers or safeties that's checking him also. I just like the Lions winning this game for sure. It's Stafford Wash. No, Tanaris, that was my sleeper pick to win MVP this year with Stafford. I don't think he's washed, but you can
Stafford.
So
I can't see the comments, but I'm glad you read that one out loud because Stafford ain't washed, bro. Stafford is well sauteed in this league. That man is like a fine wine that's been sitting in the barrel for years and years and years. Stafford is far from washed. If Aaron Rodgers ain't washed, Stafford is not.
We're going to see if Aaron Rodgers washed. We're going to see.
But even if Aaron, it's going to be hard to tell because Aaron Rodgers is also coming off the injury.
Right.
So,
but I mean, that contributes to you being washed.
I still don't think of it as I ain't even going to put that in the universe. But I still don't think Aaron Rodgers is washed.
Oh, I mean, I'm just putting the question out there.
I don't think I think he has another good season.
I guess we will see.
We'll see.
We will see.
And then the final game, the Monday night game, the 49ers and Jets. If you're a defensive fan of defensive football, this is probably the game for you guys to watch this weekend. Who do you guys have in winning this game? Mind you that the 49ers are at home for this game, not the Jets this time around.
Now, it seems like today we have a young man on trial. All right. The trial is Mr. Aaron Rodgers washed or not?
I mean,
Monday night will be evidence number one.
Ooh.
So,
you think already off of week one it's gonna be like, hey, he's washed or he's not?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, you need evidence to file for a verdict, and this go into the file. this game going in the file.
It's gonna be submitted. So there's a team. I think the 49ers will win. I believe 49ers will win. However, this is going to be a toss-up. There's not a correct answer about it. There's no one who could like perfectly predict it to a T and say, oh, because of the matchups or because of these specific numbers. I think this is a cross-conference matchup. They don't have to see a lot of each other often. It's literally the first game of the season. It can go either way. Both teams have a great defense. Both teams got a great offense. Both teams got explosive players. So it can truly go either way. I would absolutely love to see the New York Jets win just because of how much adversity they faced over the last season. So I would love to see them finally get a win. However, with this game being in San Francisco, that is a huge advantage. So that's a huge advantage. And finishing off with that, because it's in San Francisco, I'm going to side with San Francisco to win this game.
I guess for these picks is follow the leader. Okay. I mean, I agree with everything you said. I think both teams have extremely explosive players. I think San Francisco might have a few more than the Jets do. And I mean, I just there's just really no holes on the 49ers team. I I
Nope.
can't see one. They I mean, respectfully, they have all pros or superstars everywhere on that team, top to bottom, every position.
Ooh, all
So it's just they're just a extremely tough team to beat, and it's going to be a lot harder in San Fran. So that's probably why I'm rocking with the 49ers. Also, I love Rodgers. All right, I love Rodgers. I think he's one of the most accurate quarterback. No, I think he is the most accurate quarterback to ever touch a football. If we're talking about straight arm talent and accuracy, I'm giving it to Aaron Rodgers.
I've
Also,
said too. He's got the best
I'm giving
arm
it to
I've ever.
Aaron Rodgers. I just think there's a lot that he's been going on with. There's a lot that he's been dealing with. I mean, he's still seeing the shadow with the hat. I don't see him making a resurgence in this league.
Oh, so you think this is it for Rodgers?
I do. I think this is it for him.
Dang.
tough.
So you think he's
So,
just gonna fade away like Brett Favre did when he was an old man?
man, we might be giving him the motherfucking Drew Brees treatment now.
Dang.
Hey, he's followed Brett Favre. He's followed Brett Favre. Packers won a Super Bowl. Brett Favre, Jets, Aaron
That's where
Rodgers.
his career ended. It was over there.
Hey, I mean, he has followed Brett Favre. So
Hey, I mean, if he can go to the Vikings, it'd be perfect.
yeah, that would be insane. That would. Vikings don't have a quarterback right now. So
Right now, they got JJ coming back. But yeah, I mean, I hope he does. It's just everything in my gut is telling me this old man who just tore his ACL ain't got it no more. The old dog just don't got it no more.
That's rough. That's rough. He been sipping the magic potions and stuff, bro.
That's another thing, man. He taking them drugs. He's seeing them people flying across his face. The
Man,
magic hat, man.
he gonna be straight. He taking all that. He taking that hard stuff, bro. He
I
gonna be
hope
straight.
so. He taking them retreats in darkness for a
Boy,
week.
juiced up. He finna be out there juiced up. God, he about to be out there feeling
He
great.
gonna need something. He gonna need something.
No, he tore his. He ain't even gonna know he tore his Achilles.
Just running like a damn zombie out there.
He about to be feeling great. Tommy, who you got? Let's see.
All right. Well, I'm going to say with all due respect, okay? All right. I got the 49ers winning, but hear me out. Hear me out. I know this is not going to happen because every game matters, but it would not be a disagreeing or wrong decision, I should say, if they just left Aaron Rodgers in New York and they just played week one without him. Because you're asking a 40-year-old man to come back from a torn Achilles playing one of the most dangerous pass rushing teams in the league in that 49ers pass rush. That is not going to be an easy game to start off the season. He's going to be under a lot of pressure, and I think that's the reason why the 49ers win this game. I can see I can see Garrett Wilson being double teamed a lot in this game. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have to get the ball out of his hands quickly, and if he can't see Garrett Wilson as his first option, it's going to be hard for the pass game to get going. They're also good at containing the run, so I don't see Breece Hall really having a successful game, maybe 50 to 60 yards rushing, but I don't see anything more than that. And then I'm looking forward to the matchup of Robert Saleh's defense going up against his old boss's Kyle Shanahan's offense. I think that's going to be something to look out for this game. And I think that's the reason why the 49ers win this game. I just trust Kyle Shanahan's offense more than Robert Saleh's defense in this case. And the 49ers, like you guys said, they just got more playmakers than the Jets at this particular time. That's the reason why I'm leaning towards the 49ers more in this game.
Yes, sir.
But I'm dead serious with leaving him behind in New York and coming up with some type of excuse, because if for God forbid, if something happens to him in that first game back, playing that 49ers pass rush,
That's it.
oh, it's over
Oh
this time.
man.
That is a tough game to come back. If they were in New York, I would say probably the Jets. But you're going to San Fran on a Monday night playing that.
You know what? You're not wrong, because if he gets some sort of excuse rest that week 1, he get to come back against the Tennessee Titans.
Bro,
That's a much easier. That's a much easier day.
So much easier.
yo, I'm so sick. I know every game counts, and I know that the NFL don't treat it like the NBA. But think about it. Think about if he tries to do one of his old juke moves, like he's got the juice, like he's in his late 30s. Like we all know, Rodgers a mobile guy. One bad tweak to that Achilles, that thing's gonna pop again.
Knock on wood.
And Tenarius is right. That's why he should have been. That's why all them quarterbacks should be getting them preseason reps. No matter if you're playing
Absolutely.
one drive, one possession, half of a possession, you should be getting them reps. Because when you get full live action, everything's coming fast paced. And like Rodgers, you've been practicing. You've been doing the 7-on-7s during the summer against other teams and scrimmages. But in live action, say if he's scrambling out of the pocket with the ball in his hand, trying to throw on the run, and Nick Bosa's right there and collapses on him. Or he tries to juke him.
Dogs.
Oh my!
Dogs.
Yo, I'm telling you, I know they won't do it, but I would think that as a franchise to come up with some type of excuse to have him sit out, for that's a rough first game.
Right.
If it was the NBA, for sure they'd do it, but
Definitely.
that is tough, yo. Like Manny said, hey, that would be a good little comeback game. You could pad the stats against the Tennessee Titans. Just take it from there. But that, I just don't sit right to me. I hope everything goes well, though, and I hope he has a good season. But that is a tough task. And to trust how you're really going to feel in the pocket, because you're going to have to move a lot in that game.
I think you're going to get exposed. I think that ankle's still a little jiggly.
I hope not. I hope he okay.
That's where, like I said, I love Rodgers. I hope he does well. It's just my heart cannot give it to him. Can't do it. Can't do it.
You say you can't do it to him.
Nah, I can't give it to him, brother. I can't.
Oh yeah, that's it's gonna be an interesting week 1, I believe, for sure.
Definitely gonna be. They had some games for these night games. There are some games coming on.
Mm-hmm. But we're gonna move on to the final segment. So we're gonna talk about football, but we're gonna talk about some music here. So we're gonna share our thoughts on who should be the Super Bowl halftime show this year. There's plenty of options from hip hop, R&B to pop. You name it. There's plenty of options out there to take over this year's Super Bowl halftime performance.
I got it.
So who do you?
I got it. I got it.
I know who you're about to say. Go ahead and say it.
Ice Spice.
What?
I didn't stutter.
Well,
I didn't
Thomas, it
stutter.
was great
I didn't
talking to
stutter.
y'all. It
I
was
didn't
great
stutter.
talking to y'all.
I didn't stutter.
Fred.
I,
Fred.
Hey, brother.
Ice Spice?
Hey, brother. We ain't coming here for no music, brother.
the show is over.
We ain't coming here for no music, brother.
Fred crazy.
It sounds like you need to go to Magic City or something, man. Sounds like you need to go to Magic City.
Man, Fred disappointed me when he said Ice Spice.
It's like that.
You got my hype, my whole high, bro.
Oh my.
I'm like, okay, bet. Like, you got somebody in mind.
Hey, yo.
Super Bowl halftime show would be going on site if that was site.
Hey, I promise you there'd be a bunch of people in there cheering, too. You have eyes on the TVs.
I honestly, the way the music industry could go in the next 3 to 5 years, I really wouldn't be surprised if one day she is a part of the Super Bowl halftime for me. That's going to be the day I put it on music.
Doing that? They not doing that, man. They not letting this happen. Boy, they was already, man, people was already outraged at Usher. They can't handle that. I'm sorry. They just can't handle it. How can I phrase it? They can't handle that. they want to bring somebody who's black, but they don't want to bring somebody who's too black. You know,
I get,
like they
yeah,
should
I get.
be able to handle it. Nah,
Especially when she only got one dance move. Yeah, she's
that's it.
cooked.
That's it. Ain't nobody trying to watch that for a 35-minute halftime
She's
show. The
cooked.
whole time.
Yeah, she cooked. She cooked.
Yeah, that nah. I don't think that will happen. Maybe a collab, like if she would come out with somebody, possibly we might see that.
Probably not.
If
Yeah,
any, in the future, maybe she'll pop out with
You better
somebody. But
get a bunch of features.
she better
Features better start going crazy.
Um, I think if I had to choose someone, I'm a little biased, but I think this person would kill it in a halftime show. I think if we were to see Chris Brown halftime show, it would do numbers. It would do numbers. People, I mean, the man is the best dancer we'd have ever seen. The brother can sing. I mean, he's just a performer in total, bro. Like, I think it would be an amazing halftime, especially considering the budget they would give him and all the abilities that they would allow him to do. So we seen Usher last year. Um, I think if you really wanted to keep the momentum high, they would bring in Chris Brown. I doubt they do it because it's always that, oh no, he beat up Rihanna stuff. It's always that conversation that's still being held to his name. But I doubt it happens, but I think it would be dope. I think that's a performer that would really bring a lot of hype.
Another one on a serious note, obviously not I think Ice Spice. But on a serious note, I always love to see a hometown hero jump up on the stage.
that's what I thought. Okay, now you're talking realistic. That's what I thought you were gonna say the first time. But then you said that Ice Spice part.
And it's in New Orleans, and to have Lil Wayne come out on that stage.
There you go.
Now he got some bangers for everybody.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
was,
That thing, it's in New Orleans. That thing would be perfect.
man, would
Bro, imagine he came out singing 6 foot, 7 foot.
Oh,
Everybody
it's
going
a wrap.
crazy.
It's a wrap.
Everybody going crazy.
Bro, I think
It's a wrap.
time too where his music has aged just enough where it's like everybody would love it.
Perfect.
Everybody
That would
love
fit
it.
for all ages.
Yeah.
That halftime show.
All ages. Yeah, I mean, the man got so many hits. It's
So
ridiculous.
many hits.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They normally pick somebody who
Hey,
dances.
no, they had Eminem in them a couple years ago.
He said they know what was it? I told you I can't see the comment.
He said they
They
normally
normally
pick
pick
someone
somebody
who
who dances.
dances.
Though.
Who? Who was it?
They normally pick somebody who dances though, like for halftime shows.
Well, they had Kendrick Lamar do it.
Yeah, they had Eminem and them do it. So it's like, they don't be dancing.
Get Aubrey,
Same with The Weeknd. The Weeknd wasn't really dancing like that.
yeah, get Aubrey out there.
Ooh. Mr.
Oh,
Graham?
they doing that.
That'd be personal. Yeah, it's too soon.
Yeah, too soon. That boy still got some allegations floating.
And people in the crowd gonna be too disrespectful. They gonna be playing not like us.
Yeah.
They gonna start chanting. It's too soon for Aubrey.
Nah, The Weeknd definitely killed it. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Weeknd joint was lit.
Yeah, I like that halftime show a few years ago.
Who you got?
It was lit.
No, Fred said mine. Lil Wayne is the layup. That is
That's
definitely
the layup. That's the layup.
Hometown New Orleans.
Got
When is the next time? The Super Bowl hasn't been here in 10 years, so can you imagine with all these new teams these new stadiums being built, when's the next time the Super Bowl is going to be in New Orleans? So I think there's a layup for Lil Wayne to do the halftime show. Like Fred said, 6 foot, 7 foot would shut the whole thing down. Everybody would be lit out there. He could play that, a Millie, Lollipop, Stun Like My Daddy, would bring out Birdman. I'm on. Got Money with T-Pain. Those are some layup hits. And then I know y'all said it's too early for Aubrey, aka Drake. But can you imagine a picture perfect world? They had a YMCMB reunion. You have Drake and Nicki Minaj come out for a couple songs.
That would be fire.
If Drake and Nicki came out, that would be crazy.
That would be fire. That would be fire. That would. That's also why I say like getting Wayne would be perfect because he got so much music and so many hits with everybody, so he could do that. Like Aubrey ain't got to do the whole thing, but he could pop out for a quick second. Nicki could pop out for a quick second. Like He got so many hits
Yeah,
with everybody.
like in a similar way how they did it a few years ago. What was that? Like 2 years ago when they were in LA, like when they had the West Coast
Yeah, they
stars
had
out.
Dr.
Uh,
Dre and Eminem and
Dog,
them.
Dr. Dre, yeah, they could do it a similar way like that, a quick little reunion. Something like that, I think that should definitely be it, but I don't know if they'll turn to that route. I do have an honorable mention though. This is a deep sleeper because you know how it goes for Super Bowl, and they could lean to some pop artists now because we had our chance with hip hop. So
I,
this is a dark horse. But T Pain, I think T Pain could do a pretty good job out
Yeah.
there. He ain't the best candidate, but I think he could do a good job. You go open the show, open up the halftime show playing Buy You a Drink, I'm Sprung, Bartender, Can't Believe It, Best Love Song. He got some hits too. His career just ended. I think his prime just ended too fast. But I say he can be one because he has openly said he has no problem with doing the show for free.
wow. Oh, I would save them a lot of money. I
Yeah.
would consider that if I'm NFL. But I'm gonna say that I don't. Hey, a lot of people gonna hate to hear it, but it's the truth, bro. It's the truth. I thought you was gonna say another name that started with T, bro. We talked about it earlier, but we got to be honest here, bro. NFL needs to consider getting Taylor Swift to do the halftime show.
No, bro.
Let,
No,
let's be,
no.
bro. They
That's
need
what I
to
was
consider
afraid somebody was going to
her.
say. Because it was sitting in the back of my head this whole time.
They have to get her to do it, bro. That would be huge
Bro,
for
she
the
would break the
NFL.
record. Like Rihanna did a few years ago, she would break the record.
She would break the record because think about it, bro. All these guys, you watching the game, they may not like Taylor Swift, but their wives and girlfriends do. They wives and all these little girls who don't give a damn about the NFL, they love it. They want to watch her perform because that Eras tour did numbers.
Yeah.
Eras tour did numbers. People was in the movie theater 4 hours watching this. 4 hours.
Bro,
To watch her perform at halftime for 35 minutes or however long it's going to be, people
35.
lose.
You might see the longest halftime in NFL
They
history.
would
They're going to
That
be
shit
back
probably
and
gonna be
forth
just as long as the
stretching.
game is.
They would extend it. They would extend it. It would be massive to have Taylor Swift do the Super Bowl. And they got to, if they serious about getting their coins right,
Which they
that's the
are.
first
They are.
contribution.
Bro,
And
That's
that's why I see it happen. That's why I see it happen. Because
absolutely.
the
Absolutely. She
NFL
carried the
some
whole
hoes for some money.
last year, pretty much.
They will hoe out for some money.
You said
The,
what?
the NFL will hoe out for some money.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey.
They for sure go all out. And I ain't mad at them because she pretty much carried the entertainment side of the NFL last year. Every Sunday when the Chiefs was playing, and people was, oh, is Taylor coming? Is she not coming? Is she gonna be
It's
there?
crazy. She didn't even do nothing. She just showed
It
up
was
and she just killed
bro.
it.
It was a conversation every Sunday. So put her there on Sunday for halftime. Put her there.
Yeah.
You get hella bank if you're the NFL. That's the first email I'm sending. It's to Taylor's camp. Before I reach out to anybody, I'm sending it to her.
Bro, this is when you think about it, it's pretty crazy because it would be good for the NFL, and she probably would break Rihanna's record when a few years when the Chiefs played the Eagles, where people were watching the halftime show more than the actual Super Bowl. I think Taylor Swift would double that record. But man, them Swifties be going off the chain, yo. You might see Swifties trying to run on the field at halftime, trying to get out there and everything. That would be, I would say, from a music standpoint and an NFL standpoint, that's the perfect collaboration because you already been exposing her like she's the hottest thing on the planet Earth. But it would make a lot of people happy, I would say. But I personally would be so furious just watching this. I'd be like, oh my gosh, is it over? Is it not over? And the thing she would do is if the Chiefs do make it back, let's say the Chiefs don't make it back. If the Chiefs don't make it back, she's gonna bring Travis Kelce on that for the stadium out there just purposely. Then that's gonna be another problem. Not a problem, but then you got another media stunt.
Hey, all I'm saying is if they really want to knock it out the park, go get Taylor Swift.
I hate to say it, but I could definitely see it happening.
Good business thing, but I'd be a heated man now. I won't watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably go take a shot or something. I don't know. Something else. We'll probably go make some food. Something.
Hey, that's just facts, man. Oh man,
Hey, the TV's still gonna be on, so I guess you're gonna get my view.
I'd watch it. Mine as well. You gotta see what the hype is about, right?
I'm good. I pass on it. Y'all got it though. Y'all can tell me about it though.
Hey, I ain't mad at that either.
Oh man, well, I'm looking forward to the season for sure. But
Cannot wait.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. That is all the time we have for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, Fred Harris, and our guest from the Run Podcast, Manny Wilson. Manny, before we go out, tell them where to check out your platform everywhere that you can get your podcast. Tell them.
Yes, sir, man. Check us out on Spotify, iPodcast, wherever you get your podcast, under the Run with Manny Wilson podcast. That's what you got to search up, the Run with Manny Wilson. Search that up also on YouTube. Follow our Instagram as well at the Run Podcast, TikTok as well at the Run Podcast. But definitely check out the YouTube. You'll see a bunch of the content on there.
Yes, sir. Check them out. Check them out. But that's it for tonight, and we'll see you guys on next week's episode.
Appreciate you, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you. Peace out, y'all.
Hey, Fred.
Yeah, y'all have a nice night.
You too.
You too.